There is a specific kind of frustration that most women over 50 recognize but rarely name. Standing in the bathroom doing exactly what they have always done, using the same products, the same routine, the same order, and feeling that something no longer quite works. The skin feels tighter at the end of it than it did before. The fragrance fades by noon. The hair that used to look clean for 2 days now looks heavy by the end of one. And the assumption most women make is that this is simply aging, that the body is deteriorating, and the solution is to compensate with more product, more effort, more steps. The assumption is wrong. The problem is almost never the amount. It is the timing. It is the sequence. It is the fact that the body's chemistry changes after 50 in quiet, specific ways that make the hygiene habits built in your 20s work against you. Not dramatically, not in ways anyone announces, but in the accumulating, faintly unsettling way of things that have gone slightly off without explanation. Today, we are going through the exact adjustments that actually matter, not new products to purchase, but the precise understanding of what changed and why, and the specific shifts that bring everything back into alignment. The first place most women have been unknowingly working against themselves is the face, specifically, how often they are washing it. Twice a day has been the instruction for so long that it has become invisible, part of the ritual the way breathing is part of waking up. But after 50, the skin produces significantly less sebum, less natural oil, which means the acid mantle, the thin protective barrier that holds moisture in and keeps irritants out, is already working with fewer resources than it had at 30. A cleanser used twice a day strips what little oil remains. The skin responds by feeling tight, which most women correctly identify as dryness, and then incorrectly treat with richer moisturizer, when the issue was never insufficient cream. It was excessive washing. Wash with cleanser only at night. In the morning, rinse with lukewarm water, not cold, not hot, and apply your serum or moisturizer to skin that is still slightly damp. That dampness is not incidental. Moisturizer does not add water to the skin. It seals water in. Applied to dry skin, it seals in very little. Applied while the skin holds moisture from the rinse, it locks that moisture against the surface. This single change in timing does more for daytime hydration than almost any product could. Fragrance is where the next misunderstanding lives. The scent that used to carry through an entire evening now fades within a few hours, and the solution most women reach for is applying more sprays, a stronger concentration. The actual problem is what the fragrance has to bond to. After 50, skin holds less water and produces less of the natural oil that allows fragrance molecules to cling and develop. The fix is not more product. It is surface preparation. Apply an unscented body lotion to your pulse points first. The wrists, the inside of the elbows, the base of the throat. Let it absorb for 30 seconds. Then apply the fragrance to those same spots. The lotion gives the scent something to anchor to. Warmth activates fragrance, and pulse points carry warmth, which is why Coco Chanel placed her scent wherever she expected to be kissed. This was not theater. It was precise understanding of how fragrance actually works on the body. One more detail here. Do not rub your wrists together after applying. Rubbing creates friction that breaks the top notes. The first impression, the opening of the scent, before they have the chance to bloom. Press. Then leave them alone. The hair follows the same logic as the skin. After 50, the scalp produces less oil than it once did, which means washing every day removes the very resource now in shortest supply. Some scalps respond to daily washing by becoming drier. Others compensate by producing more oil, which then feels like a reason to wash more frequently. Both responses are the scalp trying to regulate itself against a routine that is no longer appropriate for what it has become. 2 to 3 times a week is the correct frequency for most women at this stage. On the days in between, a light dry shampoo, held 4 inches from the roots, not pressed directly against the scalp, absorbs the minimal oil present without further stripping. The hair will not look unwashed on those days. It will look settled. There is a difference, and the camera sees it clearly. This is actually the gap I built. The Elegant Woman 50+ protocol to address. I kept watching women understand exactly what had shifted in their bodies and still not know how to rebuild the daily ritual around it, because the information they found was always general where they needed it to be specific. The protocol is structured around that precision. It walks through 30 days of rebuilding elegance as a way of living. How you move, how you prepare, how you present. Layered in the exact order that makes each element feel natural rather than effortful. The mechanism is what I call the refinement stack. When the habits are installed in the right sequence, they stop feeling like additions and start feeling like the way you simply are. It is linked below if you want it. But there is one more adjustment that almost no one talks about, and it is happening in the one place where the stakes are highest and the silence is loudest. Saliva production decreases after 50. This is not a detail most women have been told, but it matters more than almost anything else in a morning routine because saliva is not just comfort. It is the mouth's primary defense against bacteria. Less saliva means bacteria multiply faster between brushings. The window that used to feel manageable has quietly shortened, and no amount of extra brushing reaches the place where the problem is actually forming, the surface of the tongue. A tongue scraper used every morning removes the bacterial film that accumulates overnight. Draw it from the back of the tongue to the tip. Gently, not aggressively. Rinse. Repeat twice. This takes 45 seconds and does more for breath and oral bacteria load than a second brushing. The other half of this is hydration. A full glass of water before coffee in the morning, because coffee is mildly acidic and compounds the dryness that was already present after hours of sleep. Avoid alcohol-based mouthwash, which dries the mucous membranes and worsens the condition it is meant to treat. Water is the intervention. The rest is maintenance. Antiperspirant is another ritual most women have never been given a reason to reconsider. She applies it after her morning shower, as she always has. The chemistry of how it works, though, means that timing is working against her. Antiperspirant blocks sweat glands using aluminum compounds, and those compounds require completely dry skin to form the temporary plug in the sweat duct that creates the protection. Skin that is still faintly damp from a shower, even skin that feels dry to the touch, reduces that effectiveness. And for women whose perspiration patterns have shifted after 50, which is most women because hormonal changes directly alter where and how the body perspires, this matters more than it once did. Apply antiperspirant the night before, after an evening shower, when the skin is genuinely dry and the sweat glands are at their least active. The protection carries more reliably into the following afternoon than morning application does, and it requires no adjustment to timing or products, only a shift in when the same product is used. Hands are the last thing most women think about, and the first thing that is actually noticed, not the face. People look at the face consciously, which means the attention is declared and then released. The hands are always visible. They carry glasses and bags and silverware and pens throughout every interaction, and they tell a story the face is not always telling. After 50, the skin on the back of the hand loses collagen and elasticity faster than almost anywhere else on the body. And because the hands wash more frequently than any other part of the skin, they dry faster and show the effects of that dryness most visibly. Keep a hand cream beside every sink and apply it within 2 minutes of washing, while the skin is still faintly damp, not after it has fully dried. The logic is the same as the face and the body. Seal moisture in rather than attempt to replace it. For the nails, push back the cuticles with a warm, damp washcloth rather than cutting them. Cutting creates micro tears that allow bacteria in and leave the nail bed looking ragged within days. The shape of the nail matters more than length. A soft oval or a short, clean square maintained consistently reads as more considered than a longer nail that has grown unevenly. The hands are always in the frame. They deserve 30 seconds of daily attention, not $30 of quarterly repair. What unites every adjustment in this script is that none of them requires more effort than what she was already giving. They require different timing, different sequence, different understanding of a body that has shifted in ways no one formally announced, and most advice has not yet caught up to. The women who seem to move through their 50s and 60s with a particular ease of presentation are not doing more. They are doing precisely the right things at the right moments, and the difference is almost entirely invisible from the outside, which is exactly the point. Effort that shows is effort that has not yet been refined. That is the only kind of elegance that compounds. You now have the specific adjustments, not the general ones, the exact ones, the ones with timing and sequence and reasoning behind them. The question is what to do with that understanding on an ordinary Wednesday morning, without a video playing, when the habits have not yet settled into automatic. That is the gap. The Elegant Woman 50+ protocol was built to close. I put it together after working with too many women who understood what needed to change and still could not find the version of it that belonged to them specifically. Because the details of how elegance is rebuilt are different depending on where a woman is starting, what her days actually look like, and what she most wants to feel when she walks into a room. The protocol builds the daily ritual in layers, each one installed in the order that makes it stick, covering how you prepare your body, how you move through your home, how you receive people, how you dress with intention rather than habit. It is 30 days. It costs something because making it took real time. The link is below.